Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be solving a really nice equation where we have 9 to the power of x plus 15 to the power of x equals 25 to the power of x. But before we go on and solve this for x, consider subscribing and ring the bell to not miss my latest videos. So the very first thing that I'm going to do here is to factor each of the terms in our equation. We have 9, 15, and 25. It is obvious that I can easily replace 9 with 3 squared. So we're going to have 3 squared to the power of x. And we can replace 15 with 3 times 5. And 25 is 5 times 5, or 5 squared. So this is our equation. But notice that I can replace this with 3 to the power of x and then squared. And this is just the same thing as 3 to the power of x times 5 to the power of x, because I can easily distribute the power over the product. And the last one is just the same thing as 5 to the power of x and then squared. So our equation is just the same thing as 3 to the power of x and then a squared plus 3 to the power of x times 5 to the power of x equals 5 to the power of x and then squared. Now looking at this equation, we can say that everything is either 3 to the power of x or 5 to the power of x. So it might be a good idea to use the substitution method and say that u equals 3 to the power of x and v equals 5 to the power of x. So we have u squared plus u times v equals v squared. So at this point, we need to go ahead and solve this and find a relation between u and v, and then we need to use that relation to solve for x. And in order to solve this, the very first thing that we need to do is to divide everything by v squared. Now, the reason I divide everything by v squared is because this equation is a very special equation that I talked about before in another video. But anyways, once I divide everything by v squared, I'm going to have u squared divided by v squared plus u times v divided by v squared equals v squared divided by v squared. Now, this will simplify to u divided by v and then all squared plus u divided by v equals 1. At this point, let's go ahead and subtract 1 from both sides to have everything on the same side. So we're going to have u divided by v all squared plus u divided by v minus 1 equals 0. Next, let's go ahead and substitute the quotient u divided by v with y. So in that way, we're going to have a nice quadratic equation. So we're going to have y squared plus y minus 1 equals 0. This is a fairly easy quadratic equation that can be easily solved by using the quadratic formula. So I can say that y equals -1 plus or minus square root of 5 divided by 2. Now, notice that y is equal to the quotient u divided by v, and remember that both u and v are positive quantities because u equals 3 to the power of x and v equals 5 to the power of x. Therefore, the quotient u divided by v is a positive quantity. Therefore, y is a positive quantity. So we know that y can equal -1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2, which is a positive quantity, and therefore is a valid solution. But we know that y can also be -1 minus square root of 5 divided by 2, which is not a positive quantity, it is a negative quantity, and therefore it is not a valid solution. So y can only equal -1 plus square root of 5 all divided by 2. So y, which is u divided by v, equals root 5 minus 1 divided by 2. Now remember that u equals 3 to the power of x and v equals 5 to the power of x. So the left-hand side is 3 to the power of x divided by 5 to the power of x, and it is equal to root 5 minus 1 all divided by 2. And notice that the left-hand side can be written as 3/5 to the power of x, and this equals root 5 minus 1 divided by 2. Now notice that whenever we have an equation in the form of a to the power of x equals b, based on the definition of logarithm, this indicates that x equals log b with base a. So if I use this, I can go ahead and say that x equals log of root 5 minus 1 divided by 2 with base 3/5. Now this is not a simple number, but if you manage to plug this into a calculator, you will see that this is approximately equal to 0.942. So x is approximately equal to 0.942, and that means that we managed to solve this for x. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video. Please consider subscribing for more contents like this, and hit the like button if you find this video helpful. Hopefully I will see you later. Goodbye for now.